So okay, we'll look at modLayerSelector. Oh, I really got stuff in here. What's nice is new updates. You can type in comments now. So just like your expressions, just put 2 forward slashes. And anything that comes after that will be ignored. Alright. So if we want to select layers with the name AE in it, and the yellow, and it'll give you the layer indices. Alright, so this is also new. If we don't want to select based on color, you select that and click, and now it will disregard color and just go by name. I've also added based on selected layers, not just all layers. And the help also has been updated. So these are a lot of these are your special commands. These are the new ones. You can select based on transform properties for the layer, scale, position, opacity, rotation, anchor point, and you can use inequalities, right? So you can use less than, greater, and you can use multiple. So less than 50 or less than 100, more than 50. You can do those type of searches. And same thing for Nth LayerSelector. The reason why we have 2 is modLayerSelector selects based on layer ordering and also based on time, whether we want to select layers based on their endpoint, range selectors, relative to the current time indicator, or based on a marker which will act much like a current time indicator. And then Nth LayerSelector, it's more designed. You can select based on patterns, and also your layer types. Don't forget, you can shift click here and it'll capture the layer indices, right? So not so great now, as you can see, it doesn't grab the last, so that will be fixed in a future update. So if you have contiguous selection, shift click in here, it will correctly capture. All right, so it shows you the start index 4 up to 9. But if you have a break, I shift click here, it will miss the break, right? Don't know if it's a bug or it's just a limitation, unless we want to display multiple indices or multiple groups. But this is how it works for now. And you alt click, it will reset to start index 1 to the last layer in your timeline. And our selections, alt shift click will solo just that checkbox. All right, same here. So that's our system-wide or script-wide shortcut keys. Okay, and then shift click, you deselect or select. It's a toggle here. So if I shift click here, right now it's off. If I shift click here, it will select all. Okay, if I shift click here, it will also select all. If I shift click on a currently selected checkbox, again, it acts as a toggle all option. So what's going to happen is it's going to deselect everything. And there's also an all default here, which is slightly different from selecting all. All right, so that's that. Shape Bakery is pretty cool. We've added 3 new options. So it will retain the text styling. And if you have text animated groups, it will also retain that. And just ensure you use the same based on settings as your baking option here. All right, so I'm going to shift click here. And so they're all individual layers now. And you can reset the anchor point. The anchor point's a bit off, but you can reset them. All right. Oh, unfortunately you can't. Let's see if this does it. No. I think what's happened is because of the text animator. So if I duplicate this and remove the text animator, now your anchor point will be adjustable. So that's one shortcoming of retaining your text animator property. Whoops. Select this. Yeah. Right, so that's to maintain position. Okay, so we've done 3. Next, MultiRenamer. Okay, so this one's really powerful. It does batch renaming. So almost everything you need to rename can be done here. And you can do renaming across multiple object types. Right, so layer name, active composition. I'm going to rename this. So to make selections here, you can do a marquee selection, or click once, control click to make multiple selections. So effect name, timeline property also covers effect names, animator property, shape layer, contents, groups. Text input is the actual text that you type into a text layer. You can also rename or replace text inside expressions. This one, text layer expression input, that will be your text source text property. This one does all expressions and either all selected layers or all layers, regardless of the selection state. You can do marker comments, composition marker, layer comment also. The thing to be mindful of is you can't mix project panel and layer objects. All right, so if you want to do project panels, you have to do that separately. All right, so once you've selected the objects that you want to rename or replace, you pick your scope. You can auto fix expressions, so script will go into your expressions and update them. Any name changes will be updated. Just be mindful, this adds a lot of time, but it's a critical requirement if you want to ensure your expressions are updated. Okay, and then rename options here. Delete, replace, insert, and then they're mostly the same. Insert has a few additional options. Right, and then there's special, which special options here. Okay, so they're pretty useful. If you need unique ones, let me know. We can drop that into the menu. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to replace, not before, not after, but the actual text. So I'm going to replace OpenAI with BGEMs. I'm going to do all layers. And over here, it tells you what target objects you selected for the text updating. All right? And you can shift click here also and do exact text matches or case sensitive. Right? You can remove existing prefix or suffix. Same with the adding a suffix or prefix. And you can add spaces, leading zeros, or any number that you want. You can also put text in there, right? And it should be intelligent enough to not add prefixes or suffixes to text inputs. It'll only do that to layer names, and I think property names. Otherwise, it will not add the number suffixes. It will remove if you have this checked. All right, so I'll just show you what's happening here. So we're searching for OpenAI, and we're also searching across or into locked, hidden, or disabled. These are includes here. So that means even if they're not locked, they will still be searched and be affected. All right, so I'm just going to shift click either here or here, which triggers this button. All right. Oh, I didn't select layer name. But I changed up here. I didn't select layer name. As you can see, I'll just add it here and rename. So now it's been renamed here. All right, so it's insanely powerful. I'm just going to undo once, twice. It will retain your text styling, as you can see. Right, we look at some of the others. I think the default should work well. Let me undo. So let's do layer name and text input. Do you see that? So the upsell went into the superscript. Now, if you don't want that to happen, you would do this. So OpenAI has been replaced with 2 words, and it retains the AI as a superscript. What's cool is you can do multiple searches. So not only can you select project all layers, which means the entire project, or you can select this option and then go to your project panel and select the compositions that you want to affect. So there will be all layers in all selected compositions. So it's not only the active composition that can be affected. So open will be replaced with 2 words, and then AI, the superscript, will be replaced with a number, right? And I've selected layer name and text layer input. And that's what you get. So you can do batch renaming, and I guess you can call it a double batch because now you can also rename multiple objects at once, and like I said, also across multiple compositions. All right, so you may select and not rename. Okay, so just select instead of renaming. And then render queue, click this to get name list from the render queue. Let's enable these. Get a name list. Whenever you do a frame render, single frame render, you'll get the frame count. But sometimes it's super irritating. And even this one has a numbered suffix. So you can remove frame numbering, and we'll remove that frame numbering, keeping everything it needs to, and it also respects the numbered suffix, right? And then click on edit names, and you can rename them here. Whoops. Ensure you don't remove any lines here, and don't mess up on the extensions also. So it's updated here, but it's not updated in your render queue yet until you click this button. So your new names are not updated yet. You can come here, select, and set a new render location. Different selections can go to different render locations. It's nice to have everything up here. So you may have a word like this. So this will be text input. so not layer name. So I'm just gonna click one more time and that will deselect. So you've got two selections. If you click on one, it will solo that selection. So text layer, text input. So we're looking for rocket. I'm gonna cycle. This is good if you have the replacement text that is longer and you want to retain the text styling. This text is actually made up of different typefaces. So see that? So what's happening is you replace the text, retain the text styling, and cycle the text styling because the number of characters for the replacement is different. You may also choose this option. That's what you get. So it grabs the first character and applies the styling to the rest of the characters. And you can do a random. All right, so we're looking now at the label colors. So you can select layers and keyframes. You can include locked, hidden, or disabled layers. Those are all on by default. The usual shift click toggle all shortcut works. Same with the alt shift to solo selector. So once you decide where you want to work, which composition or project panel, you decide if you want to select or set colors. You can shift click here or here on either one of these radio buttons and that will trigger this button here. So shift click here. Oh, I got selected. I should go to all layers. And it's selected all the yellow layers. And here it tells you it's picked up 16 layers. I also selected purple, but no layers for purple found. And over here it tells you the first index or the index number for the topmost layer. And the second number is the index number for the bottommost layer. Yeah, you can pick colors here and it will appear here. You can select a layer and then paste it. All right, I'm gonna undo. We're gonna look at keyframes. Same thing, you can select a keyframe, copy its color. You can then select keyframes and paste your color. And if you don't select keyframes, you select the layer, you will paste it as a layer color. So it intelligently knows what to pick up or what to copy and when to paste. And essentially the keyframes get precedence over the layer. This copy paste section, it disregards the scope. And if you have custom properties enabled, it will also disregard that. So this section here, it works independently of the top and the custom properties. All right, so let's look at all keyframes for now. So I'm going to search and select all keyframes that have no label color. And what's cool with the custom properties is you can go very detailed. All right, you can have all properties. If you want all properties or any property, then you won't select any of these checkboxes and you will also ensure none of these are selected here. Now, when you click this, it will select any layer, any property which has keyframes with no label color. If you want yellow, we're going to Alt Shift or Option Shift. So I only want yellow colored keyframes, any property, all layers, all keyframes. Now it's selected these guys here, and you can also see them here. So layers index 1678 for a total of 4 layers. So I'm going to go full screen and hit double S for solo selector. And you can see it's picked up all yellow keyframes. You can also select position, and now it will display position property for a layer which has yellow keyframes. Right, so it gets very detailed and it's insanely powerful, especially for those who organize their work well. But you can select multiple colors also. Right? So now it selects our position where keyframes that are yellow or blue. So it selected those two.